morning, everybody, especially my friends at September Scopers and all you replay viewers. I am so glad that you are here to hear about favorite vacations. So, how about we flip the camera around and welcome everybody for a little bit of a discussion about favorite vacations. That's our prompt today from September Scopers. Those of you who aren't familiar with September Scopers yet, guess what? We're coming back again in October, so you may join. October Scopers is the hashtag, and every day we get a prompt, and basically what we do is we work on becoming better broadcasters. So I invite you all to join us for October Scopers. I haven't been as active as I would like, and I'm looking forward to participating more and more, and I'm getting to know the women at soon to be October Scopers on a better basis. So that's part of the fun. Anyway, so we're talking favorite vacations. Yes. As I put in the title, my favorite mode of travel or kind of travel is literary travel. You might think literary travel. Gosh, I've never heard anything like that. It sounds like a nerd paradise. Well, it sort of is a nerd paradise, but the thing that's so fun about literary travel is it can happen anywhere. Literally anything that you're doing, any place you're going may involve literary travel. So let me tell you a little bit about that, some of my travels and some of my favorite vacations. So my daughter graduated from Smith College in Amherst, near Amherst, Massachusetts. Some of you may go, Amherst, why does that ring a bell? Well, it just so happens that it is the place where Emily Dickinson was born and raised. And her home is there, and it's a museum now. And once I visited Emily Dickinson's house, let's just say I was hooked. The Northeast, New England, is ripe for literary travel. There's opportunities everywhere. But part of my modus operandi these days is to show how literary travel and writing inspiration, because there's writers everywhere, is definitely a possibility for each and all. So in fact, just yesterday I did a scope that's still live. You can still see it. It was about noon yesterday. I was in Fresno, California, which is 100 miles or so north of me in Bakersfield. And I didn't know until just recently that that was the home of William Saroyan, who is both a Pulitzer Prize winner for drama and an Academy Award winner. Who would think Fresno, tiny little farm town, well, not tiny, it's actually big compared to many cities, but it's not what you normally think of as a place with a literary landmark, but it has one. So although that wasn't a vacation, it is travel, and it's just fun to do. It's fun to go to places where writers have been to inspire my writing inspiration, and that's what I'm about. My work is about inspiring artistic rebirth. It's about coming alongside people and inspiring you to write, to create, because the world is waiting for you to write and create. So that's what I'm about, and so literary travel fits right into that. Thank you. I like that bam and the hearts and the stars. I didn't catch your name. If you could plug your name in, that'd be awesome. So I'd also like to hear, what's your favorite vacation? I could go on, ramble on and on, but I love conversation. And so if any of you September Scopers or anyone out there, hi, Jim. Nice to meet you. If any of you would like to say what your favorite vacation has been, what you've liked about it. I think one of these days I'd like to take one of those vacations where I actually like lie on the beach and do nothing. Yeah, that'd be great. I hear about people doing that. I'm just like, fabulous. I really love to watch sunrises and sunsets, and I like doing that no matter what I'm doing on my vacations. Recently, I road tripped across the country, and I took time out to sunrise and sunset. Do some people really do that? I don't know. I'm Mama. You're a September Scoper, I think. I don't know your first name. It would be great to see your first name so I could talk to you by name. Some people do watch sunrises and sunsets like me. Some people do sit on the beach all day long. Oh, Barcelona. Oh my goodness. Hi, Stacey. You know, Barcelona would be great for me to learn my Spanish, even though they speak Castilian Spanish there, and my Spanish is more of the Central American, Mexican language or accent. But I would love to go to Spain. I've heard it's fabulous there. And so I think I would like to go to Spain to, yes, rest, relax, and and just be me. So why are we asking you about me being married? Anyway, kind of irrelevant to traveling and literary travel and all of that. So anyway, we're going to stick to that. You can always tweet me and talk to me about off-topic things. I don't mind that. But right here, I'd really like to hear about your travel. Unless, of course, maybe you want to travel with me and that, anyway, I don't want to go off on that. So, Stacey, Jim, thank you for participating. Thank you for sharing a little bit about the suggestion of Barcelona. I know for me, for my next vacation, I don't have it planned yet, but I'm probably going back east in November for for Thanksgiving. Thank you. So that should be a lot of fun. My daughters are in college. One daughter's in Philadelphia, another's at Princeton in New Jersey, and then I have a grandbaby who is in New Hampshire, and so I'm planning a trip to see the girls and then go to New Hampshire also. What's my favorite literary visit, Stacey wants to know. My favorite literary house that I visited is Emily Dickinson's. Emily Dickinson's people know how to do a home tour. I've been on her home tour 3 times, and I've enjoyed it every single time I've gone, and I've learned something new. And they also have great events there. So if you're ever in Amherst or Western Massachusetts, I strongly suggest that you go there. Hey, there's my friend. And I can't remember your name. I feel terrible. My friend from Verona Counseling. You caught me earlier. Now you caught me now. So Emily Dickinson's house is phenomenal. Going to Concord. Oh, that's right. Colleen. I got to put it in my head. I'm learning lines for a play I'm in, so my brain is kind of overstuffed. I would say if you want to go to one place and catch a ton of literary homes and sites and just to be blown out of the water with inspiration would be Concord, Massachusetts. It is just an incredible hotspot filled with writers from the Transcendentalist period. So you have the Alcott family, you have Louisa May Alcott and her family, you have Nathaniel Hawthorne, who was married to some of my favorites from the Boston area, including Sophia Hawthorne. Special favorite stories there. Of course, there's Ralph Waldo Emerson. There is, you can go hang out at Walden Pond, Thoreau made famous. They call him Thoreau there. There is a cemetery where tons of these people are buried. There's like 3 different cemeteries. There's Sleepy Hollow, which is where the Transcendentalists are buried. Daniel Chester French is there, the sculptor who did the Minuteman statue, which you can see in Concord, as well as the Lincoln Memorial in Washington. He's not literary, but, art. And one of the really cool things, okay, so here's a hat trick of Concord literary stuff and history. At the place where the shot was heard around the world, Americans, yeah, I shared a writing prompt earlier this morning, and I'll share one here too. So, by the way, Colleen asked me about writing prompts because I do writing prompts as part of what I do. So I tell you what, when I get done with this Concord story, I will give you a writing prompt to take with you. But if you watch on replay my earlier scope, I read a poem called The Door by Jane Hirschfield, and at the end, I shared a writing prompt. And so I'll share one at the end. Thank you for asking, Colleen. Okay, so in Concord, I get really excited about this stuff. In Concord, where the shot was heard around the world, there is the Minuteman statue, the famous bronze by Daniel Chester French. And from the spot where the bridge is, where the shot was actually heard, if you look over your shoulder, you see a house. That house is called the Manse. This house belonged to Ralph Waldo Emerson's family. And the manse is because they're religious people and pastors, and so you live in a manse. So during the Revolutionary War, Ralph Waldo Emerson's grandfather was the pastor, or I can't think of what they call the gentleman or the woman now, who kind of ministers over the troops. So while this battle is going on, he is down there ministering to the soldiers, praying, and up at the house is his wife with baby Ralph Waldo Emerson, watching the activity take place. Then, fast forward several decades, in that same house lived a young Nathaniel Hawthorne and his new bride, Sophia Peabody, who's famous with her sisters, the Peabody sisters in Boston. And in that same window that you can look out and see the shot heard around the world, Sophia and Nathaniel wrote poetry with their rings or jewelry in the windows, and the poetry and those windows it's still there. No broken window, it's still there. Oh, be still my heart. Be still my heart. I look at that poetry they wrote and I kind of forgive Nathaniel Hawthorne for turning into sort of a jerk, but that's another story for another scope. I know, that's what I mean. That's why I love Concord so much. It's history, it's art, it's poetry, it's literature, it's women's history, it's the Underground Railroad, it's transcendentalism, it's revolution, it's being an American. If you're an American, go, for goodness sakes. It makes me so happy. So I'm very grateful that my children chose to go back east for school. And here I am in Bakersfield, California. Anyway, so writing prompt. Colleen asked for a writing prompt, and I'm always happy at the drop of a hat to give a writing prompt. So we'll take a deep breath. Calm down after all that passion. Ah, feels so good. Settle in for a moment. Restore yourself in your seat. Hopefully you have a pencil or pen out. We'll settle into a time of writing. Your time of writing will be away from the scope. I'll shut down, and soon, as I was saying in my earlier scope today, I will be doing writing prompts, and then we'll write together. I'll be writing too. Kind of not sure how to do that with people coming in and out, but I'm just going to have to flow with it and see what happens. So it's still early in the morning here, so we're going to go with an early morning prompt. Slowing your breath down, let your breathing be conscious now and connected. We are a chronically underbreathed society, which means we don't breathe enough. We don't take slow, conscious breaths. We tend to gulp breath. We tend to do staccato breath. And when you breathe deeply, all of a sudden you just instantly feel better. So one of my favorite ways to prompt myself is through gratitude. So let's take a moment and pop some gratitude. Allow your mind to wander for a moment. Just listen to my voice, and like you can see me looking around. Settling into an air of gratitude. Look around the space you're in and consider what you're grateful for today specifically. So I'm looking at my wandering Jew plant. I'm grateful for the life in my house, the living beings here. I'm also grateful for wandering and wanderlust and literary travels. And I'm grateful for you all for being here. And I'm grateful for Colleen for asking for a writing prompt. I'm grateful for creative processes. Looking at this shoe that I made, that I covered. Everything is word love. Grateful that I have this, that I created this, that I make these things available to people. Now, what to do with those gratitudes that you've been thinking of is write a couple or three down on your paper. I am grateful for an artful shoe, I would write. I am grateful for wanderlust. I am grateful for the request Colleen made. And then take that gratitude, whatever the object is or the circumstance is, and use that as a subject of your writing. So how we will morph that into a prompt is, requests like Colleen's make me feel. Requests like Colleen's make me feel. Or, I remember a fun request. I remember a fun request. Or, I remember a request I couldn't honor. I remember a request I could not honor. So take those beginnings. Hi, Amanda. Take those beginnings and then write from them. So take what you're grateful for, one of those objects, one of those circumstances. Hi. And then tag team it with, I remember, or makes me feel. I remember, or blank makes me feel. I remember is the grandmama of writing prompts. If ever you are stuck and you don't know what to write about, I remember a book. There's a book here. I remember lighting a candle. I remember light. You can take these things and use them to inspire your writing. Because now we're going to end now on this note. And that is that the world is waiting for your words. The world is waiting for you to have your inspired artistic rebirth. And that's why I'm here, to walk alongside you. I'm so grateful for your presence here today and for your participation and your hearts and your sharing the replay so that people can have these prompts and have these memories of great vacations. Thank you. Thank you, Amanda. Tears to my eyes. Thank you. She says the world needs your message. Stacey says you are awesome. Thank you. So are each and all, because what you see in me is yourself reflected. So, today be the candle for someone else. Remember, the world is waiting for you. See you next time.